Welcome to How Can She Snap? It's the Marvel Snap podcast dedicated to the filthy casual. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snap Bros, here with my brother from the same mother, Mr.
No big deal.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We got a spicy little podcast for you today. Coming in one day late because of a little bit of time constraints, work constraints, different time zones. We're going to be talking about the latest patch updates. We're going to be talking about the new card acquisition system, the hot locations, good, bad, the ugly. We're going to obviously get into the STONKS, and also we're going to get into how we're going to prepare for the High Evo. Let's get it! The kid! All right, no big deal, no big deal. How has your week been, my brother? How has your week
What
been?
what's good? What's good? I had a failed attempt to try to get to infinite, but we're not dead yet. We're still alive. I think we're gonna get it this season. I think both of us will get it. But yeah, it's been pretty good. I'm sitting around like 88 rank right now. I got up to around 96, and I took a bit of a free fall playing a bunch of stupid decks, and that's life sometimes.
Yeah, I do that too. I think I got up to the 93 or 94.
Hmm.
But I was just kind of just probably playing casually, and then once I got up there, like again, just when you get up to those ranks, you just get the tryhards and you get all the
It gets
glucks and
sweaty.
stuff, and
It gets real
it
sweaty for
gets so
sure.
sweaty, and
It
I'm
was
like,
very noticeable this time. Yeah.
yeah, as a casual, I just don't care that much to be that sweaty.
Mhm.
So then I just started playing
Mhm.
dumb decks again, and yeah, I'm exactly the same as you. It's hilarious. I think I'm at like rank 87, 88 right now.
Mhm.
I don't know what the hell. Where am I? Yeah, 87.
If I don't get it
So,
by the end of the season, I am gonna probably pick some sweaty deck. I might do Black Bolt. Like I don't even care. I think I'm gonna try it. Like
oh
on the
really?
last 2 3 days, if I'm still not infinite, I'll pick some bullshit meta sweaty deck and I'll go for it.
I'll see. I'll see how I
Yeah.
feel. I'm not really caring too much to get it this season.
Yeah.
Just even getting in the 90s, I was like, oh, fine, that's fine. That's a good.
Mhm.
Do I care about the card back that much? No.
No,
Getting
no.
getting the what is it? Is it 500 gold when you get to
Oh no,
90?
I
What
don't
was the
even know
90?
what you get.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
500 gold.
purely
Yeah, that.
just to say I did it. That's the only one the reason I
Uh,
want to do it. To say it till I did it to myself.
oh yeah, yeah. I don't give a shit that much. But yeah, I started playing like negative Galactus and stuff like that. It was hilarious.
Oh, that's a fun day. Yeah,
Yeah, it's fun.
buff
But
Galactus buff.
yeah. So how's the lad treating you? Is the lad still good?
The lad's good. I so in the last week, we did our spiel on Snap Stonks, and you even said, "Hey, I think Iron Lad's the best in Patriot." And my Snap Stonks, I was saying Patriot and Doctor Doom. So like 4 days, I played Lad Patriot and got from 75 to 85. This is like probably 9 days ago now. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
over a week ago. And then KM Best uploads this video of literally the exact same deck, but I was using
Yep.
Cosmo and his has Mystique. And then he did another video, and now his has Cosmo too. And
Yeah.
then everyone was playing it. Then the Enchantresses were coming out, and I started losing with the Lad Patriot. So after that, around 85, I started playing other stuff and ended up getting to like around 95, 96 with a Death Venom Null deck, which was really fun.
Yep.
But I couldn't get past the 95, 96 mark with that deck and ended up falling through at 93 and then played a bunch of stupid decks. And now I'm at like 88.
Yeah, that Patriot deck won a tournament. I was like, I saw that. I'm like, I
Yeah.
knew it. I called it. I'm like, this is a ridiculous deck.
It's a sick deck. Yeah. It's really,
Yep.
really powerful.
Yeah. And so yeah, and I played that Venom Nimrod Destroy deck too. I was having
Hmm.
so much fun with that deck. It was great. It was great. It
You
was
want to
great.
show the list? You want to put
Yeah.
the list up in case people want to see? So for the people at home, we both played this deck quite a bit
If I
and
have
probably at
it,
least plus 50 cubes on both of us.
I believe
It's
this is it here.
I don't know if it's an infinite deck, but if you're in like 60, 70 and you want to climb 10-ish ranks, and you want to have fun doing it and not be super sweaty and just be casual and climb, I think this is a good deck to play for that.
I made some substitutions. I played the
Yeah,
the original. So the one I have now is, I'll read it. It's Squirrel Girl, Psylocke, Carnage, Wolverine, Killmonger, Venom, Wave, Deathlock, Nimrod, Null, Destroyer, and Death. Really fun
mhm.
deck. what we were playing originally, what No Big Deal was playing, instead of Squirrel
Mhm.
Girl and Psylocke, Electro and Yondu. Um,
Yeah.
I figured I thought like I liked Squirrel Girl a little bit more, just
Hmm.
for more consistency with death. Yondu wasn't really hitting too much for null for me, and I figured if I destroyed enough with all the destroy cards, I was getting enough on the null anyway. And then Electro, I felt like sometimes he was good, and sometimes he just really constrained me when I wanted to play more than one thing, like on turn 6 or 7 to destroy the Nimrod.
Yeah.
So Psylocke was just there for that, just to get the Nimrod out early, kind of thing, or just get a destroyer out early and then play null on turn 6.
Yeah, I found myself playing Destroyer a ton just because I just had an Electro out there that I wanted to get rid of. Like that happened like a lot. Like playing the deck. So yeah, I don't even know if it's correct. I'm kind of new to Destroy, but I feel
Yeah,
like you should ramp out a Nimrod. If you can get a Nimrod on turn 4, then this deck just goes insane because you could play Venom, Deathlock, Carnage, all turn 6. Like you could play multiple of them turn 6, and it gets completely out of control. You do Destroyer turn 5, and
yeah,
then do a bunch of other shit on turn 6. Like so, it's really fun. It kind of like fully unlocks the Destroy archetype, and you get these nulls that are like 30. And then you get like a Venom in one lane that's 30, and it feels like you're playing Shuri Red Skull almost. Like, oh my god, I just got a 30 here and a 30 here. It's just
yeah.
Shuri Red Skull, you know?
And then
Yeah.
sometimes your board just turns pink because you fill it up with Nimrods, and
Yeah,
it's
just all Nimrods, yeah,
oh,
which is
it's
also hilarious. Yeah, so it's really
yes,
fun. And I think
especially
it's pretty
for
strong too.
yeah, especially for some of the oppressive locations too. The Nimrod just kind of blow up everywhere, and then like if you
Mhm.
destroy her, if you have two oppressive locations, you get in. It's like an automatic snap. You get like Sanctum or like Death's Domain. Every time I saw Death's Domain, I snapped
Mhm.
immediately.
Yeah, you
And
have to. I think you got to because even Electro, I was playing Electro, and it's like, oh,
yeah,
let's go.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Wolverine you throw in there, like, and then
yeah,
it's just like free.
yeah,
So this
yeah.
deck was yeah, actually I climbed, I think I got up to like 88, 89 with this deck before it
Hmm.
started kind of slowing down, and then I just wanted to do other stuff. But
Hmm.
yeah, I climbed a lot with this one, and so much fun too, like so much fun. It
Hmm.
was great.
Yeah,
And then the wave especially too, with we'll get into the changes, but this like really shut down on turn 5, can
yeah.
really shut people down if you're playing all the Sarah
Yeah, my first instinct was definitely Psylocke's got to be better than Wave in this deck for sure, right? Because then your opponent doesn't get a free 6 drop, and you just need to get to 5. You don't actually need to play your 6 drop on 4. Like it's not a Galactus deck.
yeah,
So I was thinking, okay, definitely Psylocke, but then like you actually in practicality you start playing the Wave, and they got these Kitty Prides, and
yeah.
they got these Sarah decks, and you just play wave on like any turn, and you can just tell how sad they are. They play like I'll wave 3, and then they play like bishop on 4, and you're like, wow, like you're done,
That
like snap, you're done.
there
You can't.
was
Come on, man,
yeah,
bishop.
there was a lot of times where I just
Yeah,
waved on 5, and then there was just an
mhm.
insta retreat for these decks.
Yeah,
I would
it's
snap,
crazy.
before the wave, and then
Mhm.
just get free 2 cubes there. It was funny.
That's smart. Yeah, don't let them know. That's smart.
Yeah, and then
Do it before the wave.
yeah, and then yeah, snap, play the wave, and then I see the Sarah come down. I'm like, oh, poor guy. And then it's insta
Yeah,
retreat. I felt their
yeah, you
pain.
can't
I'm
do
like,
anything.
oh well,
Mhm.
So, and then I felt a lot of times too. I kind of felt like this deck too, when you're playing like with the Electro, you're playing like Wolverine, then Electro. People are thinking you're playing Galactus.
Oh yeah, a lot of instant retreat. I was gonna say that too. That happens a ton. Yeah,
Yeah,
Wolverine into Electro was like always met with a retreat. I was like, no, it's not, guys. It's not Galactus.
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
don't need to retreat.
I
It's okay.
actually,
It's not Doc Ock. Like you're fine.
I, I actually said that out loud a few times. I'm like, no, no, I'm not Galactus. Like, just play the
Yeah,
game,
it's
please.
okay.
And
Let's play. Let's play. I'm trying to
yeah,
have fun. Let's play the game.
yeah.
Like come on.
And a lot of times it was the times where like I had Nimrod in my hand, and I'm like, I just want to destroy Nimrod so many times. I'm like, don't
Yeah,
leave, please.
yeah,
Even if I would lose, I just wanted to blow him up a bunch of times. He's so much fun. Ah,
yeah.
man, I wish he was not 5, 5 energy. I wish he was 4, like a 4/4, just so you
This
could blow
deck
him
would
up
be
more.
nutty if Nimrod was a 4. It'd be just really, really crazy, and I think he should be a 4. I think they should try him at a 4/4, but I don't think they'll be touching up Nimrod anytime soon. He
No,
kind of
no,
just came
no.
out, right?
Yeah, I know
So,
they won't.
mhm.
But yeah, this destroy deck was really fun over the last week.
Hmm.
So that was the main thing I was playing this week. I don't think I really played much other stuff.
Yeah.
I got into some because I just got Silver Surfer with the new drop. He was my free card. So
Yeah. Same. Yeah.
I played a little bit of Sarah Surfer.
Mm-hmm.
This was my deck list. It actually did all right, but I didn't really know what I was doing. Nova, Goose, Scorpion, Brood, Mr. Fantastic, Surfer, Storm, Cosmo, Juggernaut, Killmonger, Maximus, Sarah.
Hmm.
Killmonger is just good now with all the Kitty Prides running around. Um, that was kind of a fun deck, but I still don't know what I'm doing with
You know
that
what
deck.
I
So
think is a spicy surfer tech that nobody's playing?
what?
Kitty Pride.
Yeah,
Because
probably.
she dodges the Killmonger, you know, like your own Killmonger. She dodges it very easily,
Yep.
and it like Surfer deck is just all threes. So it's nice to have like on turn 4 you play a 3 and Kitty Pride, and then turn 5 you could play like a 3 and Kitty Pride, and
Yep.
then or Sarah, and then turn 6 you could do like 3 Kitty Pride, or kind of just give. And in turn 1 and 2 you have shit to do as well. Like if you
Yeah.
just draw Kitty Pride, you could do Kitty Kitty, 3 drop, 3 Kitty, 3 and a 2 or Sarah, and then it kind of, I don't know, curves you out better, and it's a lot of power in one location too, which the deck only really has Maximus for that. So
Yeah. There's a deck Jeff Hoagland released I think yesterday on YouTube
hmm.
with Kitty Pride and Shuri. I named it Shitty. Shuri Kitty Pride. And it was actually like
Shitty Pride.
yeah. So I actually like never played with Kitty Pride because I was having too much
Hmm,
fun with other decks. This was the first time I
hmm,
played with Kitty Pride was yesterday, which is like, I don't know, kind
hmm.
of crazy. But anyways,
Yeah, I've never played this deck. This looks fun.
this is a Shuri Kitty Pride deck, dude. And instead of Goose, there was he has Jeff. Jeff seems to be
Hmm.
man. I hope Jeff gets dropped down to 3K. Like Jeff just seems to be in every deck and just great. But
It's one of the best cards in the game for sure.
I know
Yeah.
I do not want to spend 6K. We'll get into the card
No,
acquisition stuff later, but
I'm
anyway,
not
so
buying that shit.
the deck is Kitty Pride, Sunspot, Angela. I have Goose. Hoagland had Jeff. He said he could play basically any 2 drop that's good, like Scorpion, whatever. I figured
Hmm,
Goose will be good to like I'll tell you why I teched in Goose. There's Armor, there's Lizard, there's Shuri, Enchantress, Taskmaster, Vision, Red Skull, She Hulk. So this is a nice, spicy little Shuri deck where you
hmm.
play Kitty Pride. Basically, the idea is you play Kitty Pride, you have Angela, you keep Kitty Priding, you play Shuri, you Kitty Pride the Shuri, and then the Kitty Pride is 8, 6, 8, 10 at that, but not probably not 10, but 6 or 8. It gets to be like a 12 or a 16,
Hmm.
and then you turn 6, Taskmaster Kitty Pride.
Yeah,
Great.
16-16. Yeah.
Yeah, and on turn 5, you're playing Kitty Pride with another like you could play another like 4 drop or something. You could play Lizard, you could play, you know,
Or
Enchantress.
you could play Shuri Kitty on turn 5,
Yeah, you could do
right?
that too. You could do that too
That's kind of sick,
because
actually.
yep.
Or is Shuri only till next turn? How does their thing
No,
work?
no, 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 no. It's the next card you play. Yeah,
Oh, so yeah, that's great.
if you play your next card here, double its power. So
Oh, perfect. Yeah, turn
I'm
5. You could go Shuri Kitty on turn 5, and then
yeah,
turn 6 task something else.
Kitty, Kitty Task.
Oh, yeah, Kitty again. Yeah, yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah, and then so
interesting.
this deck is great too
Hmm.
because Kitty Pride comes back before priorities calculated. So
Yeah.
you you almost never have priority if you play it right. So they can't Shang Chi you.
Yeah,
And
she's a cool card. I'm happy
yeah,
everybody got her, and
so
she's cool for that reason. You're always passing Prio. She dodges Killmonger a lot, unless
yeah,
you wait till the very end. But then you don't have Prio, right? So
yeah,
if they have Prio, they play Killmonger. She dodges it. So that's what I was saying. I
yeah,
kind of like it in the Sarah deck too.
yeah,
And what I found with Kitty too, because Nebula is like such a crazy cracked card that I think just clearly should be a 1-0. Like I'm not complaining. I have it. I play it, so it's whatever. But
yeah,
it's just clearly a broken card. Like when Sunspot was 1-1, it was clearly overpowered. And I think Nebula is the same. And Kitty Pride kind of just owns Nebula. Like
yeah,
it's just a mechanics. It's just a hard counter. Like
yeah.
Nebula can't do anything against that Kitty Pride.
No, but I mean Nebula's kind of like set it and forget it. Kitty Pride's like you can't play a 6 drop.
Yeah, you do have to you have to allocate energy, but you could play in other lanes, like turn 3 you play a 2 in another lane in Kitty, and then you get turn 3 in a kitty, and you don't even have to commit to that lane. That's
Yeah.
what the Nebula player wants you to commit to the lane. You don't even have to because Kitty doesn't commit to anything.
Yeah. Well, I
She's
love
a
this
wild.
deck.
She's a wild gal, you know.
Yeah, I love this deck too. I just played it yesterday and I was having a lot of fun. So I'm gonna play a lot more of this.
Yeah, I'll
Whereas
try
like
that one out. That looks
if you
fun. I'll try it out too.
yeah, because like you throw the armor down and that's
Hmm.
gonna be your like Taskmaster lane, right? And then my idea
Hmm.
with the goose is I could throw Kitty Pride, in the goose lane on turn 6, so that way they can't
Yeah,
Shang-Chi it if I don't have priority.
and you have She-Hulk too, right? So She-Hulk
Yeah.
can duck the goose, right?
Yep.
So you
Yep.
have a
No,
lot of things in
exactly.
here that can
Yeah.
duck goose.
So like turn 6, like you Kitty Pride in the goose lane and you Taskmaster in the armor lane. GG.
Also, Vision can move into the goose lane if you need him to. So you have a lot of goose synergy here. So that's a pretty cool tech. Actually, it might even be better than the Jeff version, honestly,
No,
because
yeah.
Goose is sick. You could counter like Galactus with Goose, which is kind of sick. It gives you an answer there.
So that's the only counter to Galactus, and I played a few Galactus last night with this, and they were
You
owning
just
me.
lose.
Yeah,
They just play in the other lane, and you're fucked,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah. You have to hope that you draw a goose. You have to hope that they screw up, or you have to hope there's another location that's oppressive for
Restricted,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Otherwise, you just lose. Like
I
you
wonder
have
if
to
we could
get
jam
lucky.
Cosmo in here somehow, like get Lizard out of there for Cosmo.
Yeah, but it's Lizard's just great
Yeah, he is. Yeah, but I don't
because
know if the Galactus because Cosmo Armor is a Shuri deck classic, So yeah,
yeah, yeah.
but obviously doesn't work with Shuri anymore. But yeah,
Yeah, if you, I guess, if you run into a bunch of Galactus, don't play this deck, or just play it and have fun, because
yeah,
it's a lot of fun. It's great.
yeah,
So yeah, this is the one deck that I'm gonna play probably for the next week or next couple days, I should say,
hmm
until until the big boy comes out.
yeah. The Animal
Um,
Boy.
but yeah, so yeah, what else? Any other decks you've been playing you want to talk about? Or you want to get into the patch updates here?
No, not really. I mean, nothing that's like worth talking about. Like I think the Death deck and was worth mentioning, and I do think Iron Lad Patriot. I mean, just go watch KM Best video. He's made like 3 videos on it now. So if you want to see better player talk about that deck, go watch his video rather than me talk about it.
Yeah,
Go listen to the guy who actually won a tournament with it. But that deck's like really, really strong. If you happen to have Iron Lad, there's no point talking about Lad too much. A lot of people don't have it.
yeah,
But yeah, I think it's sick in there. Lad's awesome in a lot of decks. I'm still kind of messing around with, like I tried him in hella discard, like part of the reason why I dipped some rank.
yeah. That's great.
Like I'm just having fun with the card, man. He's a really really fun card, and I think as more cards come out, he's gonna get even more fun. Like he
Yeah,
might be playable in high evolutionary. Like I might try that out. I don't know.
yeah.
We'll see.
That's funny. All right, let's get into some of the new patch updates here.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. So we'll talk about some else. Well, I'll just read them on the Marvel Snap website. Kitty Pride obviously came back. We talked a little bit about Kitty Pride. Everyone got
Mhm.
her for free, which was awesome. I thought it was a good thing for them to do.
Mhm.
The what we'll talk about these things kind of quickly. What do you think about the cosmetics? Like how you can pick a different avatar and stuff for each.
I hate it. I hate it. Like what the hell?
Me too.
It's an avatar. Like that's your avatar.
Yeah,
Why would you want to change it for each deck? That's stupid.
what they should have done was give you the opportunity to have a default one.
Yeah, just the default because the default is just the guy with no face now, and
Yeah, and like when I make
I
a
just
new
want
deck,
my
which
Cosmo dog on every deck. Like
yeah,
I don't want to have to click it every time. It's
I
crazy.
know, and I have like I'm always have 20 decks because I always make random stupid
Mhm.
decks. So like I
Mhm.
every day I'm making like 2 or 3 different decks and being dumb, and so it's just annoying
Mhm.
to change the avatar.
Yeah,
And
I really don't like it. Yeah, that was they missed the mark on that change. I think.
I think it's a good idea in theory if you want to do it. I
Yeah.
think that's good, but like,
Mhm.
dude, make a let us have a default one. That's it.
Mhm. Or maybe there
Uh,
is, and we just don't know how to click it. Maybe there's a thing in options we haven't found yet. Maybe we're
there's
just idiots. Like I don't know.
that's definitely possible that we're idiots. But
Yeah,
I don't think it's there.
yeah.
Uh,
I didn't look for it, so I just raged and I just click way more than I want to now.
yeah,
It's more clicks. It's
yeah,
not. I don't like clicking that much.
I know. So the drops. So this is there a lot of big controversy with this.
Ooh, yeah, this is a little
Um,
spicy. Yeah.
I think we'll talk about this briefly, but I think we'll get into this on the next topic. We talk about card acquisition.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so Master Mold Negasonic Nimrod dropped to Series 4. Series 3, some surprise Sentry Silver Server Dazzler Shadow King Sauron Ghost. And then cards staying in Series 4, Darkhawk and Null. we'll
These
talk.
are another. So since we're getting to the Null and Darkhawk stuff, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But we're talking about like what we've been playing lately. I've been messing around with Ghost and Sauron. Just those two. Oh, a little bit of Sentry as well, because I figured if it's a bunch of Galactus players, like some Sentry clog deck would be interesting, right?
Yeah.
Guy gets Shang-Chi every single game, which is really annoying. But I didn't think that would matter that much. I like the 10 change in theory, and then I play and I'm getting cheat every damn game. But what can
Yeah.
you do? But yeah, those cards are kind of interesting, but they don't feel great yet. Ghost, I was playing in the Iron Lad ongoing deck with Hazmat. Ghost with Hazmat, obviously, like obvious synergy, right? And then it's an ongoing card, so Spectrum can buff them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm messing around, but doesn't feel particularly great yet. But I could just be bad. I don't know. And
Yeah.
I lost some ranks and just immediately tilted and switched to a new deck. So I didn't really give it too much of a chance.
Yeah, like
Maybe once I get to Infinite, I'll mess around with this stuff more. I think.
yeah, cool in theory, but like
Mhm.
cool in theory cards, but like not really competitive or that good. But like kind
I
of
am happy
interesting
we
to
just
play with.
got it. Like, well,
Yeah, yeah,
Ghost
yeah.
was Series 5, right? We just got it for free. Like, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, even like
Mhm.
yeah, Surfer was supposed to come down. Sauron is great too because I want to mess around with Sauron.
Yeah.
I made like a tempo deck too, which I haven't really played yet. I kind of just made it.
Mhm.
Actually, I put one together a few days ago and played just a little bit, but then I started playing the Destroy and having too much fun. So, but I do
Mhm.
want to get into the Sauron like tempo decks. I think that can be kind of good
Yeah, it seems like a good card, right? Like, I don't know. I
with
read it.
like
I'm like, this is
yeah, with
strong. I don't know.
Ebony Maw, like you throw in Moon Girl and stuff too, and you could play a bunch of
Yeah.
them. Like I think it's kind of
Typhoid.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, staying in Series 4, Darkhawk Null. We'll talk about that later.
Mhm.
General updates, the rank mode. So this is kind of an interesting change, kind of good for people, especially at the beginning of the season. Number of cubes required to rank up decreased from 10 to 7, which I think is cool because every 8 cuber is an immediate you're gaining or losing a rank, period, no matter where
Yeah.
you are.
So
I
this,
love
I
it.
think this is just a straight up good change
Yeah,
only. Like, this is just a good change
yeah,
because it's the exact same amount of cubes.
yeah,
So before you would need 100 cubes, let's say, or 50. Let's say you're at because you went up by fives, so you
yep,
get 50 cubes, but then you go up 50.
yep,
But now it's only 70 cubes instead of 100, and like 70 to 80, right? Is 70 now instead of 100, but you only go
yeah,
up 30 instead of
yeah,
going up 50. So once you
yeah.
get to 80, you go to 83 instead of 85. So it's literally the same amount of games you would need to win, or same amount of cubes you would need. So they didn't increase or decrease it at all, but it just straight up feels better when you're playing because you just rank up faster,
Well,
like
I mean,
on a game to game basis. But you
so
don't jump 5 when you get to the 10 mark, right?
yeah, so it is actually like you do need less cubes to climb at the start of a season
At the
because
start, yeah. So
when you
it'd be the
start
5 less, I guess,
if you're
right?
starting at 60 or 70, then
Hmm.
you need 70 cubes to climb
Hmm.
because it's 7 now instead of 100 cubes to climb that first 10 ranks. So 30 less cubes at the start of a season, so faster climbing, which is great. And
But
then
is it though? Because once you get that 70, you only get 30, and then before you would get a plus 50 once you get there, right?
but then it's still 10 afterwards at the plus 50. Then you still 10 cubes per thing. So you still need 50 cubes to climb. So no.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, true. You're right. Yeah.
now
Okay,
you
so
need
it's a minus. So you get a 30 cube head start at the beginning of the
yes.
season, basically.
Yeah,
Okay, I got it
exactly.
now.
And
All right,
and
so I
yeah, and
figured
so
it out,
like
or you figured it out.
you get at least like well, I mean if you want to get technical, you have to 1 cube less right now. So it's 49 to climb once you rank up. Like say you go from 60 or you get to 73, now
Mhm.
instead of 75. So 73, then you need 7 cubes each to climb the rank up to 80. That's 49
Mhm.
cubes. 7
Mhm.
times 7 instead of,
Yeah, you'd be
50
50.
cubes that you did
Before it
before.
would be
So
50. Yeah,
so
yeah.
this is just complete, just better for people to climb, especially
Mhm.
at the start of a season, which is great. And I like the 7 cubes, because when you when you have those, just mentally, it's just all psychology. It's like nothing to do.
Yeah.
Everything's the exact same when you're climbing. It's literally the
Mhm.
exact same, minus like the one cube, but the exact same.
Mhm.
But it just feels like when you have the A cube, it matters. Like crap, I'm gonna rank up. I'm gonna like this is like for a rank, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. 8 as
Right?
always for a rank. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're gonna lose or gain a rank, so it's
Or lose a
hilarious
whole
that way.
rank. Yeah. But
Yeah,
it's funner either way, I think.
yeah, and I think just mentally it is more fun because like you're going
Yeah.
up faster, you're going down fast. Like it just, yeah, it's just I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good change.
Uh, yeah, so it's just like it's just straight up buff to everyone, especially the beginning
Hmm.
of seasons. That doesn't make that initial climb more daunting.
Hmm.
Um,
All right.
let's
What
see.
else we
Other
got?
stuff is stupid. We don't care
Hmm.
about this stuff. Bugs,
No.
balance updates. All right. So Kitty Pride, I think we've talked about her. She's back in the game. She's fine.
Where'd you rank her on one drops?
Probably up there. I haven't played too much
But
with her. I only played her like I'd put her up there with as one of the top 3 or 4.
yeah, I agree. I think Nebula is probably better, but she's like in the next two, three, or four. I think she's kind of in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, it depends on the deck. I mean, she's great because she throws priority. So it's like
Yeah.
it's insane. You just can't play 6 drops. Like yeah, Nebula, you set and forget. You put her down and she's gonna do her good
That's
things
why,
for
because
you.
Nebula is just good in every deck. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think she's up there with Nebula and probably Sunspot and probably
Mhm.
Iceman.
Yeah.
Um, I haven't messed around with her too much to see, but I think she's definitely
Mhm.
a top tier 1 drop for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Okay.
I
Well,
yeah
where
if
we
I
got
have
next?
yeah if
Crystal.
I have decks with 6 drops, I'm not putting her in. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
every
She's
other
super
deck,
awkward with a 6 drop. Yeah.
yeah. Crystal, great. They did a little rework on her.
Hmm.
Before she's a 4/4. If this is at the middle location, shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 3 cards. Now, on reveal, each player draws a card. Still a 4/4. And the dev notes here: Crystal has been one of a handful of cards seeing incredibly low play and win rates for quite some time. An obvious buff candidate. We debated maintaining the direction of the current effect by removing the middle restriction, increasing the cards drawn, etc. Tricky thing is, we don't want effects like crystals to be strong. Snap decks are only 12 cards. We don't want those cards to play out the same every time, so we're careful about letting the players draw cards. The rework aimed to make a simple, appropriate crystal that could be fun alongside a variety of cards. I think it's a cool change.
I think she might be a pretty good card, and that might be a little bit of a hot take. But I played her. I messed around with her a little bit. Another card I messed with and dropped. But I saw Snapster was playing her in Cerebro 4, and this is things you could do when you're an Infinite already. I think Cerebro 4 is a bad deck, personally.
Yeah,
But Crystal's interesting. I tried her in a hazmat, like Luke Cage, just toxic Sarah deck.
yeah,
So like Zabu, Sarah, and all the toxic cards. Because the main issue with that deck is you're always like missing a piece. Like you got your hazmat, but then you need your Luke Cage, or maybe you need the Wong. Or you don't get your Sarah. You're always like missing a piece. So being able to draw a card in a deck like that, where you draw 10 cards of your deck instead of just 9, is like I think kind of massive. I think she'd only be useful in combo decks and lower curve decks. Because even if you're playing a higher curve deck, you draw a card, you can't play it. So
yeah,
um, I think it's only useful in that, but she might be good because in that deck, the crystal felt really good. When I played crystal, I'm like, oh shit, like this is awesome.
yeah,
But the deck itself just didn't feel good, so maybe it's like not the right home for her.
yeah,
But when
yeah.
I actually played the crystal, she felt like she was super high impact when she actually got played.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be to be determined. We'll let people brew and
Mhm.
stuff, but I think she
Yeah.
definitely has potential now because even like you said, definitely combo decks. I think easily you got to play Zabu with her in any deck you play because you're
Yeah,
getting
she's
her on
awesome.
3.
When you get Zabu into crystal, it like opens up your whole deck,
Yeah,
especially if you're playing some combo stuff, right?
I want to see like Mister Negative decks as well because
Yeah, I think she'd be good in
if you
negative.
get
Yeah.
especially if you get the Zabu out, you get negative on 3. Then her on
Hmm.
4 is like
Extra negative card. Yeah.
yeah, pretty insane.
And it's like because I've played Adam in negative decks, but Adam's just he's so hit or miss. Just
Yeah,
just like Mr. Negative as a whole, it's just so hit or miss. But
yeah,
Crystal's just super reliable. Like you don't have to be winning the lane. You don't have to play a 2 cost card that's 0 power.
Yeah.
It's a 4/4, so and it's just a draw every time, so it's really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, and then even also Devil Dino and Ronin decks. I
Yeah,
think that's
true.
another or even put both of those cards in your deck and see like I think
Yeah.
that could be another home for her.
hmm
You know,
Yeah,
so
she feels pretty decent, I think, but I don't know. Maybe I'm coping. I don't know.
I don't. I haven't played her yet. I don't particularly want to. For I have other
Mhm.
decks that I want to play and have fun with, but I
Yeah,
eventually
yeah.
do want to mess around with her in some of those kind of style decks. Yeah,
hmm
if I somehow manage to scrape my way to infinite, I will do crystal negative decks all day, and just snap every
Yeah.
time.
Fuck, I might just try that anyway. I might just try it out. I don't know. That
Yeah,
sounds fun.
yeah. I know it would. I think it would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's some potential here, and I like the direction they're headed. I think it's a good
Mhm.
change. So we'll see. Then we have a big one here, Wave, crushing the dreams of a lot of different decks. Um, Before on reveal, next turn, cards in both players' hands cost 4. Now still a 3/3. On reveal, all cards cost 4 until the end of next turn. So
Mhm.
goodbye, Sarah discounts. Goodbye, Death Wave.
Yeah.
Hard
She-Hulk.
counter to everything. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, I could read it, but that's basically just what it is.
Yeah.
The devs basically said like they're okay with killing Deathwave because of the design space restriction going forward, which is fine.
Mhm.
This She-Hulk death stuff was always kind of weird to begin with, anyway.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I really like this change. I think it's great. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, what do you think?
This is a super interesting change. I mean, I don't know if like a wave is like a overpowered card now in non death wave decks specifically. Because this card's kind of like nuts now. Like, especially with Kitty Pride coming out, you don't want to be paying 4 for your Kitty Pride. Or that whole deck. Especially now, nobody's playing Darkhawk version. They're playing like Collector, Collector Falcon version of Kitty Pride. So in that deck, it's all ones and twos. You just play Wave like they're dead. Like you just win the game off of just simply by playing Wave, and I don't know. It feels really strong, like and oppressive. I like the change overall. I think the Death Wave stuff was really stupid as well, even though I played it and the first time I got to Infinite, I abused it myself. So I played like a Doom Wave deck, and it's I don't know. It's weird, especially for new players. Like it doesn't make any sense. So like you're trying to like understand, and like you're a new player, and you're like, oh, like I feel pretty good. I'm up by
Yeah.
7 power going into turn 6, and then it's like, oh, Doom, Death, She-Hulk, and you're like, oh, okay, well, fuck me, right? So
Yeah.
I remember that feeling as a new player, and it took me a while to fully understand it until I
Yeah.
actually had the cards in my hand and could play with them. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. Yeah, it just goes to 4, and then the reduction. Okay, I get it. But yeah, I like that they got rid of it because I agree it was kind of dumb in the first place.
Yeah. And I heard some people
Mhm.
say like, "Oh, well, isn't this just basically Sandman?" Well, no, it's not. They're both completely different. You can play Wave on
Mhm.
3, and then on turn
Yeah,
5 you can still play cards regularly. If Sandman
yeah,
gets cheated out on 2 or 3 or 3 or 4, I guess, or then you're just one card the rest of the game. So it's completely different
and
style.
also, if you want, you could play this with Sandman. You could play this on 3, and then you play Sandman on 4.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's good?
Yeah. But I mean, my point being like they have completely different roles. It's not
Yeah.
like they yes, sure, they could both be used on turn 5 and accomplish basically the same thing. That's true. Um, but yeah,
I think one thing worth pointing out too is I don't think it works with Stature and Miles because those set the cost to 1, right?
nope, it
So,
works. They're
oh,
4.
it does work with those.
Yep, they're 4.
Oh, that's great. Good.
Everything's 4.
I don't like that deck so good.
Yeah, yeah, that's like I guess kind of a nerf to that deck. But yeah, and no, everything's
Yeah.
4 no matter what. Like even
Yeah.
Sarah, like if you
Mhm.
have Sarah before when you played Wave, things were 3, so you could you could it was everything was 4, and then the Sarah would reduce it 1 to 3, so you could at least play 2 cards on your last turn, no more.
Well, to defend the people who are saying isn't the Sandman, it's Sandman for 1 turn. That's what it is.
Yeah, so
Which
not
is which
Sandman.
is a completely different card, in reality, right? Like
That's my
one
point.
turn, a one turn Sandman. Sandman's an ongoing card. Like this is a
Yes.
different card. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sandman gets buffed by Spectrum. Come on.
And Sandman also doesn't let you play a 6 drop on 4. There's also that.
Yeah. No, I know. That's what I'm
So
saying.
yeah.
But
Okay.
I kind of I like the change. I like it, and even
Yeah.
playing with Wave felt good. Like we kind of talked about in the Destroy deck. Like you
Mm,
just if you're playing a Sarah deck or you see Kitty Pride, like you just snap
mm,
and play Wave on 5, and it's 2 cubes
mm.
for free basically. If you are
Yeah.
able to do anything in the game beforehand, like if you're like
Mm,
relatively even just a little bit ahead going into turn
mm.
6, you easy cubes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I haven't seen too much Wave, and it hasn't been too oppressive or anything when I've been playing. I think it's fine. It's good.
Yeah, because it wrecks both players, like Sandman, I guess.
Yeah,
It's only 3 power.
yeah. And then Death next. They gave Death a little buff, which I think is great because they knew they killed Deathwave, so they felt bad. So it was a
Yeah, this
nine
is
twelve.
great.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
it was a 9/12. Now it's an 8/12, which is great. So still, if you're playing Gila, your Lady Sif will still destroy Death. It's still good.
Yeah.
So the I think the devs comments are funny. As Death's current performance is essentially dependent on Wave and Galactus, we wanted to improve her playability in other decks now that the interaction with Wave has changed. This may not be enough, and if we see Death take a huge dive, we'll come back and look and see how these values can be adjusted. Dude, I'm seeing more Death than I've ever seen.
Yeah, and this is why we started playing it.
Yeah,
Because we had Venom. Venom just got a huge buff, and like this is a pretty big buff for Death. Like
I
if you
think
ever
so.
play Death in a just a like a non-wave deck,
Yeah.
it does always feel like you're one off. Like if I only killed one more
It's-
card. And
yeah,
now we got it. Like now, so like turn 5 Death is like really common with this change,
yeah,
or turn 4 Death or something. You're like,
yeah,
oh, I got 4 power. My Death's 4. Like great. Let's
yeah.
go.
Yeah, I mean, Death doesn't feel OP by any means. Like I'll say
No, it
that.
doesn't
Like
feel OP at all. Yeah, yeah, I agree.
it's just, I think it's a nice change, and
It feels like
like
a solid destroy card now,
yeah,
instead
like
of before it was like let's abuse wave basically.
yeah, and then literally like I've seen people like do like I've seen like Kitty Pride bounce Death decks now with Moon Girl,
Mm,
where like they're playing a lot of 1 drops, bouncing,
mm.
playing Killmonger, destroying all of them, playing Moon Girl on 5, and then you get double Death and like double Demon on turn 6.
Oh, I haven't seen that. That sounds awesome though.
Yeah, I know, it's great.
Buff
So
to
like
Thanos death too. Straight buff to Thanos death
yeah,
deck.
so like the
Mm,
devs are like, hey, this may not be enough. If we see Death take a
mm.
huge dive, I think that's rich. I'm saying like more Death and like more Death decks than anything.
Yeah, who
Which
knows though? They know the win rates, right? So who knows
of
how it's
course, yeah,
actually doing, right? Yeah.
yeah. I'm just a casual idiot. Like I don't know
Mm,
what the hell I'm
mm,
talking about.
mm.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think Death feels great, and again, doesn't feel overpowered. I love this change. I love it.
Yeah, eight power death feels really good in my opinion. I think
And
it's a nice place for that card now.
yeah, and Death's just such a fun card to play because like
Yeah.
destroying things is fun.
Mhm.
And then White Queen just had a text only change. It's nothing. It's
Mhm.
the exact same card. And then there's some, bug fixes, blah blah blah. Let's get to the spicy stuff.
Mhm.
The card acquisition updates.
We're
Uh,
gonna improve card acquisition.
oh god. The
Oh no
problem
no no no
yeah,
no.
the problem is like they did a lot of really good stuff and they did
Yeah
one thing that was really stupid in my
yeah
opinion.
yeah
That
yeah
kind of ruined all the good that they did. Like I think the net thing is positive, but the one
yeah
thing they did was really dumb. So
yeah.
what what do they do here? So like we said before, Darkhawk and Null they were scheduled to come down to Series 3.
Mhm.
They didn't. They're in Series 4, and they're staying there. And they're what they're calling is this flexible series release here. So we've heard many express that releasing every card in Series 5 is interfering with their ability to get excited about these releases. Definitely true. We don't want you to feel pressure to wait for series drops. Yep. So in the future seasons, we'll be experimenting with releasing some cards directly to Series 4. I think it's great. This is amazing. There's 2 cards
Mhm.
going directly to Series 4 in June. So right off the bat, 6,000 tokens for free in June if you're someone that buys all of them if you're a whale, which is not us.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
2 of them are going to be 3,000, which makes it be like, hey, if this was 6,000, definitely not buying it. Like, you know, But if it's gonna be 3,000, maybe I'll try it.
Yeah, and with the 3,000 one too, they're gonna have missions where at the end of the week you can do missions to earn tokens if you use the new card. So
Yeah,
say you pay 3,000 for the new card, maybe the missions will give you 1,000 back. So then it doesn't feel as bad. You net lose 2,000 tokens, which is not too bad, right? You get that up from the track pretty easily. So
yeah.
um,
We'll get
yeah.
into the missions and stuff. I think that's later on down here. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to kind of preface that with bringing it all together.
yeah. I mean, if it's gonna be like 200 tokens, then it's like, come on, second dinner.
Then it's
But if it
bullshit.
is like
Yeah,
if it is a
yeah,
thousand, that would be great.
yeah.
So this I think amazing change. Uh,
Mhm.
some going from Series 5 to Series 4, great. If you get cards like
Mhm.
Snow Guard, I think they should go right to Series 3. Like just
Yeah.
just give it to people for free because those it's a
Mhm.
shit card that no one wants to play.
Yeah, just
But
pick one each season. Like, give everybody the Howard the Duck for free. Like, no one's paying 6K for Howard the Duck. Like, so
yeah, only content creators basically.
yeah.
Um, here I think here's the one flexible series drop that I think is bad. I think this is the one. In addition to modifying release series, we'll also be taking a look at series drop cadence for cards. Yeah, this is the stupid change. Currently, all cards are on the same schedule, starting at Series 5 to Series 4 to Series 3. They say the reality is not all cards are created equals. We're looking to exercise more flexibility. Sometimes mean this some so yeah, this is the bad part. Sometimes this means preserving the series of a card, as is the case with Thanos and Galactus. Other times this means we may drop a card from Series 5 to Series 3 because we simply want more people to experiment with it.
Like Ghost, for example.
Yeah. We may even
Yeah.
skip a monthly series drop when the meta looks fun and healthy. The other shit thing.
Yep.
These decisions will be made on a card by card basis based on data and player feedback instead of applying a blanket rule to all cards. So here's the one where they kind of screwed people over and kept Darkhawk and Null in Series 4. Uh, yeah, what are your initial thoughts here? And then I'll talk a little bit about it because I think this
I'll
is
just
really
say
dumb.
first my experience with this. So I was one of the people who's waiting for Null to drop because I really want to mess around with Null, but I don't want to play Galactus. So obviously I would never spend 3,000 on a card that's just clearly a Galactus card, right? So I was like, all right, I'll wait for the drop, and then I saved my caches. I saved up like 28 collector's caches for this drop, and I got really lucky, and I happened to pull Null into one of them as a permanent series 4. So that's my first like, oh, Yahtzee, like let's go. So that was luck. I luck sacked my way through this change. Like I got really lucky, but for everybody else, I apologize. And normally I pull Orca and I pull all
He
these
did.
crappy cards. So Orca was my first series 4
Yeah,
pull. So like, don't I'm not. But this is the first time. Like, okay, finally got one.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is brutal, man. You could have given people a heads up. I'm sure there's a lot of people waiting for Darkhawk, specifically Darkhawk in here
Yeah.
to go to 1,000. People just don't have. Maybe they're not pool 3 complete yet, so they're only getting 100 tokens at a time from the track, and it's really hard. You gotta pull 30 of those every 4 caches
No, no, no.
to.
They're getting more. They're getting more. A hundred.
Oh, they're getting more now.
The hundred token is only if your pool three complete. When you would have got a pool three card, you get 100 tokens. But everyone
Mhm.
else is getting more tokens. You're getting the average 400. You're getting the 1 to 600. They
Oh,
made
like
that
people
change
who are
before.
not pool 3 complete
Yes,
are getting that now.
yes.
Oh, okay.
That was a few months ago. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so maybe it's not as bad, I guess,
It's because
to just spend the 3K on Hawk, but
yeah.
I
It's
mean
because
overall,
we're
yeah,
pool three complete, so we get the anytime we would have pulled the series three card, I think we get 100 tokens. But
yeah,
the time where we get the 400 tokens on average, like sometimes you get 600, sometimes you get 200.
yeah. Mhm.
That's everyone's getting that.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So we get more just because we get a because where we would have got a card, we just get tokens now. But anyway,
Yeah, yeah,
so as far as opinion, I don't really have one on this. I mean, it's clearly a money grab. They clearly want you to spend on Darkhawk. They don't want to give you Darkhawk for free. It's one of the best cards in the game right now,
yeah,
and it's pay to win. It's a pay to win card. I mean, let's just be honest. Darkhawk is a pay to win card, just like Jeff the Shark. are they going to leave Jeff the Shark in Series 5? Is he a big bad
Dude,
now? Like, what are we doing here? I don't know.
that's what I
So
was kind of alluding
it's a
to
clear
before. Is
money
like,
grab, and I'm not mad about it. I think Darkhawk's worth the 3K. I spent 3K on Darkhawk. It was the second I could afford it. He was the first one I bought. I think it's an obvious buy. Shuri at the time and Darkhawk were clearly, and I just didn't want to play Shuri deck, so I bought Darkhawk with my first 3,000, and I think you guys should too, man. It's a good card.
yeah, I'm not personally so mad about good cards staying in like Series 4. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of shitty to do because they never had that precedent before, but I'm not
Yeah.
that mad about it. The thing I hate the most is the uncertainty. Like
Mm-hmm.
cuz people are going to save for cards that they want.
Yes.
And if you're saving and you're
Mm-hmm.
expecting it to drop the next month and then like it doesn't, then you feel kind of screwed over. Then you're like, well, maybe I would have bought it 2 weeks ago and been playing with this card like 2 or 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
or stuff like that. So I think that's really dumb. Or I could have spent my tokens on something else, in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't like. And even this sentence too is kind of really dumb. We may even skip a monthly series drop entirely when the meta looks fun and healthy. Well, how do you know if the meta looks fun and healthy when you have like more than half the player base not having the cards that are dropping down?
Yeah. That's the
Like
issue. That's a ignorant statement. The meta, they're basically saying we're gonna take care of the whales. That's what they're saying here, right?
yeah,
Like they've always done that though. Like in this game, they do take care of the whales. Like you get everything you need. If you're a whale in this game, like they want the people who are spending money on this game, they want to make sure that those people keep spending money and they're happy.
yeah. Okay, so I think that if you're going to look at it, as a bit of a positive for some people, is that if you are the beginning of Series 3 and you want good cards like Darkhawk, if you're not Pool 3 complete, then this is a better change for you because you are getting more tokens from the token
Mm-hmm.
shop. So you'll be able to get this card a lot sooner. Because if you have like 80 or 90 cards, whatever it is, in Series 3 right now, good luck getting Darkhawk or Null if you're at the beginning of Pool 3. At least this gives you the chance to, hey, I'm getting more tokens. I can spend it on good cards. So there's that aspect of it. But then if you're near the end of Series 3, then, it feels bad because you're not going to get it if you're waiting for it to be free.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I
You know
don't
what
know.
I
It's
mean?
like almost like I know what you're saying and you're right, but it's almost like battered wife syndrome almost like, and not
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
get
yeah.
too deep, not to get too deep here, but it's like in the sense, let me, preface it in the sense that this free Series 3 card that everybody gets every season, they should be able to pick the card, right? Like
yeah,
you should not have to wait. Say you have 80 cards left to unlock in Series 3. You have to wait 8 hours on a rotation to hopefully by the time your card that you want shows up, it's going to be like the 18th day of the season. Like the season's almost over. By the time that Magneto shows up, you want Magneto, like,
yeah,
you might have to wait like 3 weeks for Magneto to show up. And
yeah,
like you said, same with Darkhawk, right? So like if Darkhawk was Series 3, he'd be buried in this rotation
yeah,
of your free card that you get every month from Series 3. So it really it's kind of like, okay, we already have this kind of shitty system, but here's like another one that makes it maybe our shitty system a little bit better, but
yeah,
it's still the same kind of shitty core problem, right? Where it should be you pick the card you want. Like people, we talked about it last week a lot, but like people want to build the decks that they want. Everyone has their own play style. So you
yeah,
should be able to pick the card for free. And then everything else on a rotation is fine, right? But this is like, okay, yeah, now you can, it's much easier to see Darkhawk because there's way less Series 4 cards in the shop. So you probably will see Darkhawk in the first week of the season, right?
yeah.
So, and if you have 3,000 tokens, you can get them.
Yeah, I just think like they need to like if they're gonna do this, they need to like a month in advance let people know, hey, next month we're not dropping these cards, we're gonna be dropping these cards. Like
Yeah,
people
that
need to
would be,
know like
yeah.
that the uncertainty is really stupid. Like they can't just
Yeah.
like right before a patch be like, oh, by the way, we're not dropping these by the way, even though you've
Yeah,
been
I
saving for
agree.
them and stuff. Like I think that's so dumb. Like just they've
Lol, JK. It would have been
yeah,
nice if they did with Kitty too. Like the Kitty Pride, were just in this limbo. I didn't spend my tokens for a month because I just wanted to spend 6K on Kitty Pride. And so literally, I basically didn't really play the game for a month because I wanted to try out this Kitty Pride card as she previously was. She was even stronger before. So
Yeah. Well, I mean that
yeah.
wasn't their fault. That card broke the game. So
But like you said, to your point, they could at least give us an update. Hey, we still got to work on this for another week, because I thought any day it's gonna drop, any
yeah.
day it's gonna be fixed, and it's gonna be some hot fix patch, and she's gonna be in the game. And they did like nothing for a month. There was no updates or anything.
Yeah. Sorry.
So yeah, it'd just be nice if they would just tell you in advance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind
that's
of
not
crazy.
surprise. Mhm.
Um. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what they do in the future. I think there's a lot of outrage with this, and I
Mhm.
think people will, kind of. I hope that they just change this. I don't know.
Yeah,
Just let us know
yeah, I
what's dropping, what's not dropping, basically.
Mhm.
Um.
Yeah. Let us
So,
know.
so,
Let us know a month in advance.
so yeah, so that was the bad part
Mm.
of it. Now,
Mm.
the first part was good. I mean, this is good too. I mean, we kind of talked about this last week. Series
Mm.
3 card acquisition. So, the previous patch they made changes for Series 3 that greatly increased their token earn rate. So yeah, people are making a lot more tokens. We talked
Mm.
about that. And then they got the free choose your card section. That's good too. And so we heard feedback that would still like the flexibility to use tokens for Series 3 cards. Yes. So in our June patch, we're updating the token shop to include a new section, Series 3 Mystery Card. This option will be available for 1,000 tokens and can be purchased anytime. I think this is a great change.
Yeah, for sure. If you
I
want
think,
to just power through your Series 3, then this is like a good way to do it. You're
yeah,
getting more tokens. I mean, I would rip this. If I was in Series 3, this is kind of what me and you did when we were in Series 3, but
yeah,
just we did it slower because we didn't have this. So
yeah,
if just the second you have 1,000 tokens, just fire it into the mystery card. I would do this just to complete Series 3 as quickly as possible.
yeah,
Because once you're done Series 3, for people who are not and don't know, you get even more tokens once your Series 3 complete. So you get even more, then you could actually afford these like Darkhawk Null type of cards.
yeah. And then things like Iron Lad come out or High Evo come out, and you're like, okay, I can afford this. So like,
You could
it,
just buy it without even spending money on the game,
it's a
which
great
is nice.
and I think it's
Yeah.
fine that it's a mystery card too because you're not
Mhm.
having to wait every 8 hours.
Yeah. I think that,
So
yeah, they should keep this and then just let people pick once a month. Dude, it's one card a month. There's gonna be like 6 cards dropping every month. Like
yeah,
there's like 100 Series 3 cards. Like just let people have one that they actually get to pick a month, and
yeah.
then have this mystery card in the shop. And then I think you're kind of fine on card acquisition. Honestly, I think that would be like you're pretty much fine at that point.
Yeah, not the dumb 8-hour timer. Because even
Yeah,
us
that's just
for
it's
when
ridiculous. Yeah.
when we were doing Series 3, like trying to complete it, we were on the 8-hour. We got to spend 1,000, which was great
Mhm.
for Series 3 cards, but it was that 8-hour timer. So
Yeah.
we had to wait and wait and wait. This one you can
Yeah.
just like you said, you just rip through it.
Mhm.
So I think it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
And then you kind of get what you get instead of like waiting a week to get like Magneto, like you said, or Doctor
Yeah.
Doom,
Mhm.
She-Hulk, whatever it is.
Mhm.
You can maybe get it faster and you're getting more tokens. So I think it's a great change. Like I said, they made some really good changes here. They really screwed up on the other one. And then
Yeah.
here's more ways to earn tokens. More whales to earn tokens is what it should say. So they're adding. This is another
So true
more
though.
more for the whales pay to win. Well, I mean, it's better because they're even people that aren't whales. They're adding stuff too. So they're adding weekend missions, so you can win games, earn credits, gold, and tokens. So the way to earn credits, everyone's going to be able to earn credits. If you bought the season pass, you're going to be able to earn gold if you're winning games with the season pass card. And if you're a whale, the rich get richer. If you
Mhm.
just picked up the newly released card, like Howard the Duck, you spent 6,000 tokens, and you're sitting in a corner crying because you wasted 6,000 on Snow Guard. At least you're gonna earn some tokens back.
Get a little kickback.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think these are great, and really depending on the amount of tokens you earn back is gonna really because I don't know how I feel about this. I think it's fine. Like I'm not really having an opinion on this, but depending on the amount of tokens, might seriously change my opinion. If it's like 200 tokens and you're spending 6,000, then I think it's stupid. If it's like 1,000 or more, I think it's great. Because like you
Yeah, I
said,
was gonna say if it's 1,000, I'm gonna be buying Randy 3K token cards that I think
yeah,
maybe aren't even that good. I will
yeah,
just buy them and whatever. I get 1,000 back, and at least it's a just add a card to the collection, you know.
yeah. No, exactly. And then you don't have to wait
Mhm.
5 months or 7 months, depending on their flexible release
Yeah,
schedule.
exactly. Yeah,
Next year.
yeah.
But yeah, so I think it's if it's like 200 tokens, man, I'm gonna be so upset. I'm gonna
It's
be
a joke. Yeah,
so
yeah. At that
upset.
point, it's just a joke. They're just like taunting you.
Yeah, I think it
Like
needs.
imagine you spend 6,000 just so you get 200 back. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I
What are you
think
doing?
this. Yeah, I think this needs to be at least 1,000
Yeah, I
for
agree.
people to get excited and for people to even like I didn't buy Iron Lad. If I were to get
Mm,
1,000 back for playing with Iron
mhm,
Lad,
mhm.
maybe I would have bought him. I don't know.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, some of these cards, especially the 3,000 ones, because like
Mhm,
if it's a half decent card, yeah, I'm
mhm.
gonna buy it and then get 1,000 back, and then I spent 2,000, so I don't
Yeah.
have to wait 5 months to spend 1,000
Mhm.
on it or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's worth it for sure.
So yeah, and even the season pass card, which I think most people get, you're gonna get to earn gold, which is cool. Again, like if you're not buying the season pass card, I guess this kind of sucks. But
Yeah, it's pay to win. Yeah.
pay to win, yeah, and then get more gold. So
Yeah,
I
two
guess
two out of three of these are just pay to win, you know?
yeah, but I guess at least if you're paying to win, you're getting some of it back, right?
Yeah.
So like the paying shouldn't feel as bad because you're getting some
Mhm,
of it back now.
mhm.
And then everyone's going to be able to get credits. So at least they gave credits and not boosters. If they were going to give boosters, then
Yeah, I'd be tilting for sure. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, that's it. That's the card
Mhm.
acquisition. I think a few things like these token things is phenomenal change. The Series 3 card acquisition, phenomenal change for people. Um what was the first thing? The cards being dropped directly into Series 4 next month instead of Series 3, like Spider Ham. No one's gonna want to pay 6K for that.
Yep.
Phenomenal change. So a lot of phenomenal changes. Then this flexible series drop, they just shit all over the player base with this. So, you know, like they
Yeah.
should have waited a week. They should have they should have like released this news last week and then come out with all the good changes with the patch, and it would have been fine.
Or just do it next month. Like, everyone, people have been waiting months for Darkhawk. Like, let's be honest. Like, this is a strong meta, one of the best top 5 card in the game. Like,
Yeah,
people have literally been waiting months for this thing to drop to 3 so
yeah,
they could afford it. And
yeah.
you could have just waited till the next month. Like, drop Darkhawk and Null. We don't need Ghost and Sauron. You could leave those in Series 4, and then next month say, hey, in the June patch, like you're doing with all these other changes, in the June patch, you're alluding to it. We're gonna leave some cards in Series 4 that normally would have dropped,
There's
So
none
let
that are
people.
good enough.
Then at least we'll look at it and say, oh, okay, like maybe I'll wait. Stature might just be permanent Series 4 now, right? For
Yeah,
example, right?
yeah.
At least we can speculate. But people were expecting Darkhawk, like and I know why people are pissed because now it's like
Yeah.
that the deck they've been waiting to play for 2 months, they now can't play it.
Or
So it's
or
it's bullshit.
or they could have played it 2 months ago.
Yeah, they could have just sucked it up
Or
and
they'd be
bought it two
like,
months
man,
ago.
I would have
Yeah,
just bought it 2 months ago and I could have been playing with
yeah,
this card. So yeah.
yeah,
Anyways, a lot like honestly, a lot of good stuff. They did a ton of good stuff. I don't want to discount that, but
yeah.
the uncertainty is just so stupid. And then like, oh, we're gonna, if the meta looks healthy, we might not drop anything. Well, again, how are you gonna know if the meta is healthy if people aren't playing with the cards?
Yeah. It's
Stupid.
healthy only for the people who have the card.
Only for
So
the rich.
that's not healthy at all. Yeah.
No. No. All right. Um, that was a good rant that we had there. Let's
I
get
think you
into
summed it up. I think you summed it up pretty good, even at the start.
yeah, so does this deck. Shitty. Um, so let's talk about some of the hot locations. You know, how so for the most part I hate these hot locations. Like so hot location this week was the peak. So
Mhm.
basically a Mr. Negative Fest. The reason why I was a lot more upset with this week's hot location it was a dumb reason, but than other weeks because I was having so much fun. Like, I don't usually play Patriot, but like I was just like maybe like an hour before the hot location came out, I was playing Patriot. I was doing pretty good. I was climbing a little bit. I never really
Mhm,
played the deck, and I'm like, oh, I'm starting to get into the hang of
mhm.
how the deck worked and stuff. And I'm like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
kind of enjoying this. And then the peak hit, and then I just crushed my dreams. And so
Mhm,
everyone was playing Mr. Negative, so I was like, oh man. So then like I got a little mad for it. Like I walked away for like half an hour. I'm like, oh, like I was just dwelled in my own self pity for a little bit, and
yeah.
then punched a hole in my wall. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but then I was like, you know what, whatever. And then I made a deck that was like an anti Mister Negative deck, which had like Professor X and stuff that kind of benefited from the peak. And then just started
Mhm,
farming cubes. I think I ended up like plus 45 cubes in like an hour and a half of playing with this
mhm.
anti deck. So it worked out well, but it crushed my fun is what was the problem. I was having so much fun playing Patriot.
Yeah.
What do you think of like hot locations like that? Like I don't know.
I don't like hot locations at
Mm,
all in this game. I think they're bad for the game.
yeah,
Um, only like they're fine for me, they don't affect my experience playing the game too much. I looked at it and said, okay, I guess I'm playing Mr. Negative. And since I'm gonna be playing a bunch of mirrors, I'll throw Super Scroll and Rogue in my deck. And that's pretty good counter cards to Mr. Negative deck. Also, they're low power. If they get reversed, it's nice. 2 cost Super Scroll,
yeah,
copy their Iron Man. It's nice. Whatever. Um, I think the problem with hot locations is again, they're really bad for new players. I could only imagine somebody in pool 3 with 100 pool 3 cards, if
yeah.
they haven't pulled Mr. Negative, or they didn't want to spend $100 on the Mr. Negative bundle. Now you can't play the
This one.
game for 24 hours. Yes, that exactly. I mean, look, I did it too. I have it too. But it was a good bundle. Like, it's really good value, like 10K tokens. It was nice.
Yeah, $100 a
And
lot, but
only for
yeah,
gold too, so I didn't have to spend that much money on it. I already had a bunch of gold saved up. So, but what if you don't have Mr. Negative? And then
yeah,
what if you don't have the counter cards that you were playing to counter Mr. Negative? Like, these are generally, you need some pool 3 cards. If you have a full collection, you could just play around these hot locations, no problem. They're great for people who have a full card collection. You
yeah,
can look at the hot location and say, okay, let me go build a deck that is good in this location. But most people playing the game only have enough cards to make maybe 2 or 3 viable decks. And
yeah,
the chances are, the second the hot location hits, your deck is now dead. So
yeah,
I don't think they're good for the game at all. I think they're a lazy, cheap way to act like you're making the game more exciting. The way you make a game more exciting is adding new cards to the game, adding new locations to the game. Those are the kinds of things that will spice up the meta. You don't need to do this new location shit. Like, it just kills the game for newer players. So I
or
think they're
yeah.
bad for the game. I don't think they should exist.
I agree. And I'm
Mhm.
so glad because these used to be 48 hours. Remember
Yeah,
that. So they used
yeah,
to be like 2 days of this shit. Um, but like, and I agree with what you're saying 100%. And I think if
mhm.
they do have hot locations, make it fun locations.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
true.
make it like Nova Roma. Everyone draws a card. The Elysium one that was so much fun.
Or Wakandan Embassy or something, boost up the hand, like something.
Yeah, Wakanda and
Yeah.
Embassy is fine. I mean, the cerebral players will be sad, but that's okay. There's not too many of
Yeah, yeah, but
them.
it's
I'm
like
just
what
kidding.
like killing one deck is okay. But if then you like one time it was Quantum Tunnel, it's like, all right,
Yeah.
you're playing Lockjaw or you're not. And imagine you're a pool 3 player who doesn't have Lockjaw and you already used your free card. Like, you're done, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean like yeah, no, exactly. Just make them like fun, non-oppressive locations. Then I'm
Mhm.
all about it. That's fine. I'll
Yeah.
play 24 hours of Elysium, Nova Roma, draw cards. What's the other one where you draw two cards, whatever, like those things.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
fine. Even like yeah, not like I guess not negative zone and stuff like that, but it's stuff that's not like so oppressive. Like the peak is like
Yeah.
you have to play Mr. Negative decks basically.
Mhm.
Like and like you said, if you're early, you can't play them. You don't have, and
Mhm.
then you lose. So
Mhm.
yeah. Anyways, I found a way to make it work, but yeah, I don't like these hot locations for the most part.
Mhm.
Then
Yeah.
there was a new location this week, another 24 hours of hell.
Mhm.
Milano. You can only play cards here on turn 5. Come on,
Mhm.
man. What the hell?
Well, I liked it because I was playing the death deck, but again, I would have rather just played my deck with no hot location,
Well, yeah,
personally.
I was playing
Yeah,
the death deck too, but still, like
yeah,
if I get like
yeah.
Sanctum in another area, like where am I playing that? Where am I destroying the friggin' Nimrod? I'm playing Nimrod
Yeah,
on turn 5.
you hope you have a destroyer. Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
okay, I can play my
Yeah,
Nimrod on turn 5, and I put him in Milano, and then I can't destroy him. And you gotta pray that you have destroyer, and then you don't get any
yeah,
cards in Milano. That's
yeah.
0.
Oh
So
yeah, if you don't kill the Nimrod, you lose the game. Yeah,
I know.
yeah,
I hate it. I hate it. Like at least I know they had these slotted for like months in advance. And I think going forward, they've said like they're gonna really not have any more oppressive locations. I don't forget what the ones in June are, but there's not any like oppressive ones in June. And I think they
yeah.
said
Well,
they're
they
gonna
just
really
had 2 in a row, so yeah,
they're gonna make a really big effort to not have new locations that are oppressive going forward. So
Mm.
that's good. We'll see. Right now, it's like such a piss off. I don't ever want to see these locations like Milano again. Like because like you get one other one like Morag, and you're like, okay, well, where am I playing now?
Yeah. You can't play. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the maybe this is all just a secret move buff. We gotta start playing move decks and be ahead of the meta.
Well, there was the one week where the Bifrost was a hot location, and I did only play move that week. And
Yeah,
but the games got so clowny. I mean, it felt really similar to the peak where I was playing these Mister Negative mirrors. Everyone was playing move, and I mean, it gets really clowny too. Like, so I don't
yeah.
know.
Who's got their Craven and Dazzlers?
Yeah, like exactly. Who got the cards that benefit from it? So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I don't God, I can do away with these hot locations. Thank God they're only 24 hours, but I
yeah,
wish there was a way that you could be like turn off hot locations. No, I don't want hot location. I just want to play the game.
yeah. Yeah, I guess
Um
conquest mode maybe, conquest mode will be good for that. It's coming next month. You don't have to
yeah.
play them. Or
Yeah.
maybe they'll be in conquest mode too, which would suck.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
probably will be now that I think about it.
I hope not.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so I guess we hate hot locations. Good. We're in agreement. I don't like them.
Yeah,
And
I don't personally hate them. I don't have, but it's just in principle. I don't like them in principle. That's my thing.
I don't like it because it forces you to play a deck that like maybe you don't want
Mhm.
to play if you're trying to have fun.
Yeah, just play a
You know?
different deck. Like, yeah, that's the thing. If you're bored with the game, like try a new deck out, try a new
Yeah.
build. Like why try the new cards. Like
Yeah.
we
Or
don't need this hot location to force
or
us to, spice the game up. It's not
yeah.
spicy, it's just stupid.
Or make the hot locations fun decks, fun locations like Elysium
Yeah.
or Nova Roma.
Mhm,
Stuff that
mhm,
benefits everyone. And it's fun for everyone.
mhm. Yeah.
Um, all right. Well, let's slide in the old stonks, baby. Let's talk about
Stonks.
this segment. We talk about cards we think are going to be up on the rise. We call them
Mhm.
stonks, or cards that are going to be coming out of the meta, not stonks. So no big deal. What are you thinking this week?
Um,
We got High Evo coming out in a couple of days. What are the stonks?
well, High Evo's coming out. I mean, we talked about Luke Cage already. But currently in the non High Evo uh format, I think Sandman is stonks. And I hate to say it because
Yeah.
he's kind of a cancerous card, to be honest. But it's with all the kitty prides running around.
Yeah.
Um and in the stature deck too, like Black Bolt stature, they want to play multiple cards on the last turn. And so like turn 4 Sandman, like Sandman ramp, I think
Yeah.
is pretty crazy right now. If you get Sandman on turn 4, it kind of wrecks most decks right now. And
Yeah.
it wouldn't wreck like the other only popular deck it wouldn't wreck, for example, is like a Galactus deck, but you can naturally play cards like Arrow and Magneto in your ramp deck, so you do have answers to Galactus as well. So I think Sandman's really good. This is the one deck I've in the last 2 days that is actually giving me like positive cubes, and I hate that I'm playing it, but I'm trying to get the infinite at this point, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's unfortunately I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sandman just is doing really good for the meta at this point. He's doing really
Mhm.
good in the meta. So
Mhm.
yeah, I agree. Stonks, Sandman, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Not stonks, or I should say stonks for me.
Mhm.
Obviously I think with High Evo coming out, Luke Cage, I know we talked about that. I think we're gonna see a lot
Mhm.
more of him in a couple days. Um, this one may seem this one's kind of dumb, but I'm just gonna say Zabu. I mean, Zabu's already everywhere, but I think with
Yeah,
High Evo coming out, another 4 drop, who's another 4 drop, people are
that's a
gonna
good
want to
one.
play. People are gonna want to play a 3/7, and I think there's gonna be just even more Zabu in every High Evo deck. Because you're gonna want to play some 4 drops like the thing, and you're gonna stonks. So I think Zabu is gonna be stonks
Yeah,
even more than he is. Like he's already stonks.
already a strong blue chip card here, and
Yeah,
sometimes the rich get richer, like you said. So this is another one of those cards where there's a lot of Zabu out there. There's probably going to be more Zabu.
yeah,
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 I agree. Yeah, just because High Evo is a 4, and so is the thing in the same deck. So it
yeah,
doesn't take much to want to get 1 or 2 more 4s in there and slam a Zabu.
yeah. No,
Mhm.
exactly. Um,
Mhm.
those are my stonks. Who do you got
Yeah.
for not stonks? Who's not stonks?
Well,
Yeah.
quickly, I just wanted to say destroy
Oh
deck.
yeah,
We talked about it already, but just because
yeah,
Venom and Death got huge buffs, and I think destroy deck is stonks. I don't think it's top tier, but like way better than it was before, in my opinion. So destroy, you know, Venom, Death, destroy, stonk. But anyway,
yeah, and this
not,
and
yeah.
and fun too.
Mhm. I don't know if this one. This might be wrong again. I said Sierra Control last week as maybe a bad one to say. Um, I put She Hulk. I mean, the wave kills her, but also I don't see her around that much. And if people are playing Sandman, dummies her too. Uh, if not only does she not work with wave, but the actual wave card like dummies her now. Like wave 5 like owns She-Hulk now. And it used to
Yeah,
help She-Hulk. But now like it hard counters She-Hulk because
yeah,
you can only play one.
yeah,
So yeah, it I think She-Hulk, who used to be, arguably one of the best cards in the game, straight up, I think is not even a top 10 card anymore. So I think not stonks.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
Mhm.
The wave really kind of killed this card. And instead of buffing death, they should have buffed She-Elf. Maybe make her back a 6/10. Who knows?
Yeah, they didn't
Um,
they
uh,
didn't touch the She-Hulk. Yeah.
no, well, I mean, we'll see what happens because you can still get her on turn 4 and stuff like that, right? Like, so there's still ways to cheat her out, and not everyone's playing wave, so you can still do the double She-Hulk
Yeah,
shenanigans and
I don't think
stuff.
she's a bad I don't think she's a bad
Yeah,
card. I just think
yeah,
she got a little bit worse with the last couple weeks of changes. Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe High Evo can save her because that deck has a lot of passing and having unused energy. And obviously She-Hulk's a card that likes unused energy. So maybe High Evo deck with
yeah.
She-Hulk can kind of save this card maybe.
But I kind of agree with you because yeah, with the wave change and like she's just an integral part of Death Wave and Doom Wave decks and stuff like that. I guess maybe not
Mhm.
Doom Wave, but Death Wave. There's she's an integral part of those decks. And now that
Oh
those
yeah,
decks are
Doom
all
Wave 2, same thing.
yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
those
Mhm.
decks are all just crushed. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot less of her, and I'm
Yeah.
yeah. So I agree with
I
you.
only see her in Moon Girl, like Kitty Bounce, like double up deck. That's the only time I really see her anymore.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My non-stonks is a group of individuals,
Mm.
and it's gonna be the Guardians.
Oh
I
no,
oh yeah, I think they've had their day in the sun.
their
I think
theme.
High Evo's coming out, and people are just gonna be all about High Evo decks, and then the Guardians decks are gonna be like, you know, a lot less. I think people are
Ah,
gonna play a lot less of them. I don't
that's
think they're any.
interesting.
Yeah, I don't think they're better or worse, whatever. But I just think everyone's
Mhm.
gonna be doing all High Evo, countering High Evo stuff because I think there's gonna be a crap ton of people just buying High Evo. That I think we'll see a lot less of the Guardians.
I
It
like
was
that
fun.
take. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it was fun seeing them. Don't get me wrong. I don't
Mhm.
think they're worse or better or anything. And unless people are trying to do that Star Lord quest, which I haven't even touched yet, I haven't put Star Lord in any decks, which I
Oh
probably
yeah,
should.
I'll do that at the end. No, wait
Yeah,
till Infinite, then we'll do that. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I think that not stonks are going to be the Guardians. Some pretty
I
sick
think
variants.
that's a pretty cool take because it's not based on company fundamentals or
Yeah,
how the actual cards of balance are going, but it's more of like a market psychology hype
exactly.
call
Yeah,
where it's like these were fun with Nebula. We tried them out with Nebula. It's a solid. They're solid with Nebula, and they had a couple buffs here and there,
yeah,
but yeah, when that new hotness comes out, it's like all right, let's throw these shitty cards in the trash and play the new cards that are good.
yeah. Exactly, exactly. Anyway, yeah, because otherwise, really, I struggle to find cards that I think are going to be out of the meta because the meta I feel like is so good right now. There's such
Mhm.
like a plethora of cards. You can really play anything, and it's like it
Yeah.
seems to be all right. It seems to do all right. So
Mhm.
I don't think there's anything that's going to really fall out completely. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a really healthy meta, and I like it.
Mhm.
Those are the stonks.
And just for
So
people at home, if you're confused and I'm getting cut off, I'm petting a dog. That's why if you're wondering what my hands are doing, this is Carlos. He's hanging. Yeah, there he is. You see him on the camera now. Yeah, he's a
oh,
good boy. And that I was just giving him some pets while we were talking about stonks.
oh yeah, he's a good boy. Um, so I guess we'll kind of close out this discussion here, talking a little bit about High Evo is coming out in a couple days. Um,
Mhm.
we kind of talked about a random deck quickly that we built in like 2 seconds of maybe something
Mhm.
to try. This one goes more towards the affliction, making things negative. Obviously, it's not optimized by any means, and it's probably going to be crap, but it's going to be fun things to try when you first start. So this deck is Wasp, Nebula, Hazmat, Luke Cage, Scorpion, Zabu, Cyclops, Moon Girl, Enchantress, Thing, Abomination, and then High Evo. So, this
Yeah,
deck will
so
be
the deck's got a lot of interesting stuff going on. Zabu hits 4 cards in here because High Evo is also a 4-drop, like you said on Snap Stonks. Segueing into this, and then with the negative affliction, you have Hazmat and Scorpion are going to reduce a ton of cards. Just not in addition to Thing and Cyclops, you clone your Abomination with your Moon Girl, so you're targeting Abomination. Get him to a 0, 1, 2 cost card. I mean, it should be pretty easy, honestly, to get him to 0. And then turn 6, you're either popping off, you're throwing abominations everywhere, and it should be interesting.
yeah. If you don't get waved, if you don't get Sandman, turn
Yeah,
6,
yeah,
you could throw out like maybe get double Wasp as well. You know,
yeah. This
double
deck
Wasp,
loses to
double
Wave
Abomination.
Sandman for sure.
Yeah, double Wasp, double Abomination on turn 6 could be pretty
Yeah, but
spicy.
at least with this deck, you can't. It's not like the Kitty or a Sarah Miracle, where if you do see the Sandman coming, you could just play Abomination on like turn 3, right? Like if 2 cards are reduced on your 1 and 2, and
Yeah,
then you have a 3 power bomb, you think Sandman's coming, you slam your Abomination. Then maybe you play out like your Evo and your Thing, and maybe you can win a game that way. Or you play like Abomination Thing on like turn 4, right? Or sorry, Abomination Wasp. Sorry, I meant Abomination Wasp is what I meant.
yeah,
So you play your Wasp out if you see the Sandman come in, and maybe you can find a way to win anyway.
yeah. And if you've had your Nebula out as well, then
Yeah,
she's just gaining points.
yeah. There's a lot of cheap
Um,
cards, so you should be able to play early before you
yeah,
get waved or Sandman.
yeah. Make no mistake, it'll probably get wrecked by Sandman, but
Yeah,
maybe
yeah, for
there's a
sure.
chance in some games.
Yeah, because
and
I
this,
just some other decks just hard lose to the if you see Sandman, it's
yeah.
auto loss.
And this will get wrecked by Galactus too, unless you can Enchantress their null.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get dummy by Galactus.
Yeah, this will get wrecked by Galactus.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's good. This is a fun deck, and this one's probably crappy. Sure, there's a lot
Mm,
of other people that'll build better ones. This is just the negative
mhm,
one, just to make
mhm.
there have a lot of negative cards and stuff. And you can Enchantress, don't Enchantress your Luke Cage,
Yeah.
but Enchantress their Luke Cage.
Yeah, she's in there for the enemy Luke Cage.
Yeah,
If you're not worried
exactly.
about enemy Luke Cage, maybe you play like a Cosmo or something, or a Polaris to try to snipe their Galactus. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think High Evo is going to be a lot of fun.
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to the next week. I had a lot of fun this week. I really want to play that Sherry Kitty Pride deck, my shitty deck, and a Sauron
Yeah, that
tempo deck
looks
as
fun.
well.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's it, man. That was a good pod. Love it.
We had a
Good
couple
to
good,
see you.
couple good rants. Couple good rants. I enjoyed it.
Frick yeah. Any final words for the viewers?
Hey, we all started as amoebas in the sea, and now it's time over billions of years to evolve. High evolving.
Oh god, I
Happy
hate you.
evolving.
Happy Evo,
Oh, there
6K
he is.
tokens. Oh
Let's do it,
yeah.
Golden. There
right,
you go.
peace. See ya.